In the darkest corners of Transylvania, where the moon hung low and the wolves howled mournfully, there stood a castle that cast a long, ominous shadow over the land. This castle, shrouded in mystery and fear, was the dwelling of the most notorious vampire of all time, Count Dracula. For centuries, the villagers had lived in terror of the Count and the sinister legends that surrounded him. But on one fateful night, a brave and foolhardy group of adventurers arrived in the village. They were led by Jonathan Harker, a young lawyer seeking to finalize the sale of a London property to the reclusive Count. As the group approached the imposing castle, a sense of foreboding settled upon them. The towering stone walls seemed to whisper dark secrets, and the icy wind that swept through the courtyard carried with it the faint scent of blood. Inside the castle, Count Dracula greeted them with an unsettling charm that masked his true nature. He was a tall, gaunt figure with piercing, crimson eyes that seemed to see into the depths of their souls. His skin was pallid, his fingers long and slender, and his voice, though melodic, held an underlying menace. As the days passed, Harker noticed strange occurrences within the castle. He saw no servants, and the Count seemed to disappear during the daylight hours. Mysterious cries and whispers echoed through the stone corridors at night. And Harker's unease grew. One evening, unable to contain his curiosity, Harker ventured into the depths of the castle, guided only by the dim light of a flickering candle. He stumbled upon a crypt, its stone door ajar. Inside, he found coffins, each containing a sleeping figure. Horror washed over him as he realized that the Count and his guests were not alone. Harker fled the crypt, but it was too late. The Count's malevolent laughter echoed through the castle as he revealed his true nature. He was a vampire, and Harker had unwittingly become his prisoner. Weeks turned into months, and Harker languished in the castle, growing weaker with each passing day as the Count fed upon him, draining his life force. Desperation and fear gnawed at his sanity, and he knew that he must find a way to escape. One night, as the moon hung low in the sky, Harker managed to slip through a forgotten passageway that led to the castle's chapel. There, he found a cache of crucifixes and holy water, which he used to ward off the Count. With great effort, he pried open a long-sealed window and descended into the castle's courtyard, but the castle itself seemed to conspire against him. The walls shifted and closed in around him, as if determined to keep him imprisoned. Desperate and weakened, Harker stumbled into the nearby forest, praying that he had escaped the Count's clutches. Meanwhile, news of Harker's disappearance reached his fiancée, Mina, who traveled to Transylvania with her friend Lucy to find him. They arrived in the village, their arrival met with fearful glances and whispered warnings. The villagers knew all too well the horrors that awaited those who ventured near the Count's castle. Undeterred, Mina and Lucy pressed on, determined to find Harker. They, too, were welcomed by the Count, who feigned ignorance of Harker's whereabouts. But Mina sensed the darkness that lurked within him, and she began to suspect the truth. As the nights passed, Lucy fell victim to the Count's insidious charms. She grew pale and weak, her veins drained of life. Mina, however, remained steadfast and resolved to uncover the Count's true nature. With the help of a local priest, Mina learned of the ancient rituals required to defeat a vampire. Armed with knowledge and holy relics, she confronted the Count in a climactic battle that would determine the fate of her beloved Harker and the cursed land of Transylvania. The battle raged through the night, a deadly dance between darkness and light. The castle itself seemed to come alive, its walls shifting and crumbling. In the end, it was Mina's unwavering courage and her faith that proved to be the Count's undoing. As the first rays of dawn broke over the horizon, the Count let out a blood-curdling scream and crumbled into dust. His reign of terror ended at last. Harker was saved, but the scars of their harrowing ordeal would haunt them forever. The castle, once a symbol of dread and despair, now stood empty and silent. The curse that had plagued Transylvania for centuries had finally been broken, and the villagers could once again live without fear. But the legend of Count Dracula would endure, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked in the hearts of men and the enduring battle between good and evil. And so, the tale of the vampire of Transylvania would continue to haunt the dreams of those who dared to hear it, a timeless tale of horror and redemption.